Who are you going to be calling today, Miguel?
I can do an empty nester.
Empty nester. Awesome. And then I'm going to go back to
I
Steph.
mean, I'm sorry, absentee.
Absentee. Okay, great. So are you ready to make that call?
Yeah, just give me 1 minute.
Okay, I'll give you a minute. 59, 58, 57,
Oh
56,
Okay,
55.
ready.
Okay. All right, Miguel. You already listened to some Grant Cardone. You already listened to David Goggins. Your mind is fine-tuned. You did some reps already. You're ready to smile and dial. Ring that phone, and I'm going to be the absentee owner.
I'm looking for my objection sheet.
Your time. Your objections. Here we go. I'm gonna go level one, so don't worry. It's not gonna be all crazy. We're gonna try to get through the call. We're gonna try to see just to get through the call. Don't worry. I'm not gonna make it hard on you or nothing like that.
Es inteligente. ¿Ya lo quiso?
Okay.
Movió la silla.
Here we go. I don't know if somebody has their microphone is hot. If you don't mind going on mute for a little bit. Miguel's about to smile and dial soon, so we're gonna set him up. Here we go, Miguel. Ring me in.
I'm the agent, right?
Yes, sir.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, Alfred. My name is Miguel for real estate. I'm calling you to see if you are interested in selling or buying property.
Oh no, Miguel. I'm not interested right now. I'm sorry. You called me at a bad time.
Is there? I'm sorry. Really quick. Do you know of anyone that's in the market of selling or buying property? I'm looking for referrals. I work in your neighborhood. I'm a local agent.
Miguel, no. Like I mentioned to you before, I'm not interested in selling, and I don't know anybody at the moment at the top of my head because you called me at a bad time.
I'm sorry about that, Alfred. Is there a better time I can reach you?
Yeah. If you want, call me on the weekends. The weekends are better for me.
Great, Alfred. Can I have your email address?
Yeah, my email is Miguel readyourscripts@gmail.com.
Okay, I'll talk to you then. And last question, have you had any interest in any parts, just so I can be prepared and have something to show you?
Yeah, I thought about it, but I'm not ready to start right now, Miguel. But thank you for your call.
No problem, Alfred. Are you the
All right, we'll stop.
I was gonna ask if you were married, but I don't know how to ask that question.
All right,
Are you
we're gonna stop right there. We're gonna stop you real quick. I wrote some stuff down. Remember, guys, this is a safe place. There is no pass or flunk here. I'd rather have you guys flunk here than with the client. You do not want to flunk with the client. So real quick, Miguel, I think your introduction you went straight for the kill. When you call me, you didn't even try to build a report. Remember, you're a total stranger to me, and you call me out of the blue and just went straight for the kill and said, "Hey, are you thinking about Sally?" And I think you got to fine tune your intro, right? How that outbound calls being made. You got to fine tune it and just be a little softer because you are calling an absentee owner. And just imagine how many other people are calling them, right? They're getting bombarded with calls. So you want to sound different. You want to do a pattern disruption. And of course, you want to build rapport. So one recommendation that I can give you, and then I'm gonna pass it on to somebody else, right? And write these things down because this is the whole reason for this call. And I know some of you guys are gonna get some nuggets here because I know Charles be calling absentee owners and he does wholesale. And I know a few individuals in this call do the same thing. So real quick, when you're calling an absentee owner, once again, he doesn't know you, you don't know him. So your to grab his attention is first you ask, you call him by his name, right? Because you got his name. You got his name from a data script, or you got it from a Lucky Sevens list. I don't know where you're getting this list from. But for the shits and giggles, let's say you know this person's name. So you want to call him by his name. right away, call him. You got 6 seconds before he hangs up on you. So you want to let him know what's the reason for the call. So if you're calling Miguel, say, hey, Miguel, hello, is this Miguel? Miguel, yes, this is Miguel with For Real Estate. The reason for my call is I know you own some properties here in California, and I was just calling to see if you would consider selling any of those homes. I actually have a buyer, Jose, that's interested in moving in that area, and I wanted to see if you would consider buying. Or I'm sorry, Sally. Shut up and let him talk. That's the thing with agents. Sometimes agents don't let the person talk. Ask the question, let them answer. Right? So you want to go right away, call him by his name, introduce yourself, and tell him why you're calling. On the call, real quick. Your first 6 seconds should be about that. Then you just have a normal conversation. Hey, have you ever thought about Sally? If he says, no, I never thought about it. No, I'm not interested. No, not right now. Call me later. Those are all brush offs. Then you move on to the next one. But remember, don't try to control the conversation. Like, don't be ready for him to throw you an objection, because then you're not even thinking. You're just waiting for that objection so you could catch it and then try to answer it back. Does it make sense, Miguel?
Yes.
All right, let's try that call one more time, and we're just gonna do the quick intro. Quick intro on your call.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, Alfred. This is Miguel for Real Estates. I'm real quick calling you because I know you have some properties. You own some properties here in the area, and I have some clients constantly looking in the area. Are you and have you ever thought? Do you have any interest of selling or buying property? Yeah.
Absolutely not,
Got it.
Miguel. And I'm gonna hang up on you. You didn't introduce yourself. You just went once again. You went straight for the kill. So we'll put a pause on that. I'll open it up to Jose. Now, Jose Roberto Salas is a special guest today. This guy's a sales machine. He doesn't need no introduction. Runs the biggest Zillow team Flex in the California, and his team, I believe, our conversation called over almost 800,000 people in the last year, Jose.
Yeah, and year to date.
Year to date, 800,000 phone calls were recorded on his CRM.
Yeah.
Now
there's more more days of talk time than there are days for the year.
Mm-hmm. So imagine that, guys. How much experience Jose has, and Jose, based on the calls that you hear, what does a consumer want to know right away when you make that call?
So obviously it depends on what type of lead I'm getting, right? Like if I'm getting like a direct connect lead or an inbox lead where the client is inquiring in, it's a different type of script than when I'm calling out, right? When we're outbound dialing, it's a little bit of a softer approach, but it's exactly kind of what you're saying. And so one of the things, Miguel, I would say is just practice your intro, and only practice your intro, and just stay there, write it down, perfect it, right? Like when we're trying to break down a script, I like to tell the agents, like, don't look at the whole thing, because then you're gonna get all fucking confused and you're gonna be like blah blah. So I just kind of break it down in pieces when I'm teaching it to someone. And I said, all we're gonna do is just practice the intro. So tell me the intro, tell me the intro, tell me the intro, tell me the intro. And we just go through that until you kind of get it down. Once you get that down, then you could kind of move to the next part of the script. And so if I'm dialing out, and let's say it's just a bunch of buyers, I would say something like, hello, my name is Jose Samano, and this is just a courtesy call. A while back, you were, interested in maybe purchasing a home, and or I was wondering if you were just kind of curious, right? And I kind of go about it that way. And if they say, I was just curious, what were you curious for? How many bedrooms, how many baths? If they say, I'm still on the market, it's the same answer. How many bedrooms, how many baths? Because that's still like the easiest way to get them to reply. Everybody knows how many bedrooms, how many baths. If you go into cities, they tend to think about it. And if they're thinking too much, then they kind of start going a different way. You want them to be kind of like reacting almost, right? Like you want them to be, and then one of the other things that he said, that Alfred said, is that you want to be the person asking the questions. The person that's asking the questions is the driver. It's not the person that's talking the most. If you catch yourself talking too much, that means that you don't have like the proper talking track, so you don't have that rehearsed. Um, because you should be able to drive somebody somewhere. Like with every single call, there should almost come always be kind of like a destination that you're going to get to, right? We utilize something called LP Mama, which is location, price, motivation, agent, mortgage, and appointment. And then we utilize Frog or Ford, which is family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. And these are just kind of outlines, right? It doesn't mean like we're robotic or anything like that. It's just outlines of information that we need to get, right? And so if, from bedroom count, I would probably go into, so I mean, have you narrowed down your cities? Do you have a favorite city that you're trying to move into? Or I have here that you're looking in Anaheim if they're in my CRM. And then from there, I'll jab a little bit, and then I'll go into Ford, and I'll say, well, what's bringing you to the area? Is it family or work? If it's work, then I go, oh, what do you do for a living? And then I start talking about that, right? Like it's about trying to have a conversation and not an interrogation is kind of one of the things that I tell our agents. You want to flow with conversation, but you also want to bring it back, right? Like the Jordan Belfort thing, where it's like the straight line approach. There, if it's a highway, you could, if it's a 3-lane highway, you could go down one or you could go up one, so you could get off track a little bit, but don't go too off track where now you're just blabbering on the phone for 50 minutes about nothing, right? You also want to have a certain amount of time on the phone. You don't want to spend too much time with people that are not necessarily trying to do anything. So um, that's kind of what I would say. I don't know if I said too much.
No, you said the right thing, Miguel. Any questions, any feedback, any nuggets you got, any takeaways?
No, I think he's right about narrowing down and getting your intro down solid first before you move into everything else. And I like the word starting off with curious. Hey, I'm just curious, and then maybe asking them if they're interested in, I don't know, selling.
Yeah.
But
So
I want to throw that curious word into my intro.
yeah, I mean, for sellers, if it's a seller that's in, I mean, for us, most of the sellers that we're working with are inquiries, right? So it's just a little bit different. Because I've actually never made expired calls, but wait, so I don't know even what they sound like. So maybe that's something that I can learn today.
What
But
about absentee or empty nesters? You
no,
don't
I
do
only
them?
do like, yeah, it's all
So,
inbound. So
all right,
so
Jose. So that's a good role play that I'm gonna do with you next. And
mhm,
I'm gonna be the pissed off expired so you can get a little taste of it.
okay, all right, let's
But
do it.
good job, Miguel. Thank you so much for stepping up on stage. It's not easy, guys. Once again, I like to remind you guys that this is a safe place. This is where you want to practice. You do not want to practice on the client. That is a minimum $10,000 to $15,000 commission check that you do not want to lose out on, right? So you want to practice, Hirsch and drill. We're not looking for perfection in any type of way because there's no perfection here, only progression. So you got to think like that. It's never going to be perfect, but you're going to get better. 1% better a day. That's all you got to think about. If I could just get 1% better a day, I'm getting one step closer to my goal. But Miguel, I
Hey,
applaud
Alfred.
you. I applaud you, bro, because I know you're on it right now. I know it. You are dialed in. You're dialed in. So keep it up, and I can't wait till you get your first appointment. So all right. So next person.
Alfred,
Go ahead.
do you real quick, when you practice with Jose, do you mind doing an absentee?
He doesn't call those type of people, so it's gonna be difficult for him.
Okay, that's fine.
But
No problem.
we're gonna practice it real quick and expired. And I'm just gonna tell him what the expire is all about, which
Hey,
Jose
Alfred.
already knows what it is.
Alfred, real quick. Miguel, you just want to sound a little bit more confident when you're talking, whether you're calling, absentees or whatever you just mentioned, or sale by owners. It's all going to be the confidence level in your voice. If you don't sound too confident in what you're talking about, they're either gonna hang up on you or they're just not gonna talk to you. A lot of good things that you can do is talk to yourself in the mirror. Talk to yourself in the mirror, record yourself, and then ask yourself, would I talk to that person? Or, would Alfred talk to that person? Or, you know, record yourself, go to YouTube, look up role plays. I mean, there's a lot of tools out there. Don't just rely on this call. This call is good. Trust me, Alfred gives a lot of golden nuggets, but don't just rely on one tool. There's multiple tools out there that you can actually use to help you. So speak with confidence and conviction, and don't be afraid. If you're scared to talk, they're going to hear it. So that's all I wanted to say.
Awesome. Good job, Jesse. The sandwich effect. You criticize, then you give them something good, then you criticize again. That's good. All right. So everybody knows what an expired is. If you don't know, an expired is someone who raised their hand and wanted to sell the property. Now, there's only 3 reasons why my property did not sell, Jose. One of those reasons was Maria overpriced my house. Maria didn't do enough marketing and she did photo shoots with her phone, or my house is not in good condition and I'm asking for too much money for it. So that could be the 3 reasons why my house didn't sell. And you are calling me because you just hit the MLS as a cancel or expired listing. So you're just making a call to a seller to see if you could get my business.
So I'm making a call to you.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say something like, hey Alfred, my name is Jose Somano, and I was just kind of curious. I know that your property was on the market. Are you still kind of accepting offers for your home?
Absolutely. So we're gonna go ahead and role play. Jose, you ready? Ring me in.
Oh shit.
Here we
Oh,
go, Jose. Here we
ring,
go.
ring, ring, ring.
Hello. Bueno.
Oh. Yes. Hola, ¿cómo está?
Is this Jose from vendetucasa.com?
This is him. Hey, sorry, I got sidetracked.
And don't worry, that's gonna happen. They're gonna throw you off.
Yeah,
They're
I would
gonna
say
throw you off, and it happens, guys. So I'm just messing with Jose, but we're gonna go back into this. We'll talk about that before we end the call. But people are gonna throw you guys off, so you gotta be on it. And remember, this is Jose's first time calling expired. So let's go, Jose. Ring me in.
Yeah, ring.
Hello.
Hello, hey Alfred. My name is Jose Somano, and I recently saw that your property was on the market, and it just recently came off. Are you still accepting offers for your home?
Yeah. Do you have a buyer for me, Jose?
Yeah, I have quite a few buyers. I mean, but I have a quick question. Why did the property get off the market? Were you not getting the price that you were looking for?
No, I don't know. The agent Maria, she said she was gonna do an open house and she was gonna do pictures, and then my sister called me and said that the pictures are dark, and she didn't do the open house this week, so I'm a little
Okay, gotcha.
frustrated.
Yeah. No, definitely. I completely understand that. A lot of times, agents don't have the proper, strategies or marketing strategies to be able to sell a property for top dollar. I would be curious, what was the number that you were looking for when you were thinking about selling? Is it the number on the asking price? Was that like your bottom line number?
Yeah, I wanted that $1 million because I plan to live mortgage free when I move to Bullhead, Arizona, and she said that my house, my neighbor just sold for 1.2 million, and his house is facing the east, the sun, and he gets sun all the time, and my house is actually facing west, so we get the sun in the back, and that's a big plus to a lot of people, especially here in Alhambra. A lot of Asian people like these houses that face west, not east, so I believe I could get my $1 million for it.
Cool. Well, if I were to come by and bring you an offer or a potential buyer for your property, when is a good time? During the week or weekends?
The weekend would be good.
Would Saturday or Sunday work best for you?
Yeah, I think Saturday would be work best. But Jose, let me ask you this, because I had this guy Miguel call me right now, and he just really pissed me off. He said the same thing you said. You guys sound like you guys all talk the same language. It sounds like you guys are reading Mike Ferry scripts. What are you gonna do different than Miguel?
Well, there's a lot of things that I could do different. I actually understand a few different selling options, whether you want to sell cash or maybe you need immediate money, or maybe you need to rehab your property. I have a program that I can give you money to be able to rehab your property so then you could actually sell it for top dollar, right? So there's a few things that I could do. Also, the way that we market homes is we market homes through the Amazon of real estate, which is Zillow, right? And one of the things that we do on Zillow is we do something called Showcase. And if you've never seen Showcase, it's a way for you to retarget home buyers that are already with high intent that are on Zillow, um, to be able to get a lot more viewership on your property. So marketing is all about how many eyeballs you can get on your home, right? So one of the things that I could do, just looking at your property, it doesn't look like I'm just making stuff up, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like you were getting too much viewership, right? So there's 4 pillars that I kind of work on. One is going to be content, right? I want to make sure that I do enough video, photography, and a 3D tour for the home. These online websites like Zillow and Redfin, they're just advertising sites. So they're not necessarily selling real estate. So what they care about is how long is the consumer spending on the site, because that's how they charge me more money, right? And so that's going to be super important because your placement, the more content you have, the higher the placement you'll have, right? So that's number one. Number two strategy that we utilize to be able to kind of get top dollar for our clients is going to be the MLS approach or the local agent approach, right? 60% of all the buyers still come through the MLS, right? So we want to make sure that we're on the MLS and we're on all the sites. The third thing, and I think this is the most important thing, is our advertising price, right? Or our strategic price that we're going to put the property on the market for. So I don't know if you've ever kind of bought in a car, but there's always like a sticker price, right? But when you leave, there's always usually a higher price. You end up paying a little bit more, right? We want to kind of create that same concept when you're listing a home, because again, I like to negotiate for you, not against you. So, as your agent, what I want to do is I want to be in a multiple offer situation so then I can negotiate up and not down, right? And then lastly, we're going to do our social media approach, right? So we're going to do paid ads on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube to be able to get as many people again to your home. And then so that's an approach that not a lot of other agents are doing. And I'm just kind of curious, what was the marketing strategy for your agent?
Well, Maria said that she had a buyer when she came to our property, and nobody has come to our property yet. And
Okay.
I did spend some money. She told me to paint the house to make it look more appealing. I
Mhm.
spent a little bit of money on landscaping,
Mhm.
and it's already been 2 months. We wanted to be in Arizona before summer ended, and I'm still here. I've been getting bombarded with phone calls. I actually had this other guy named Robert call me,
Mhm. Mhm.
and he sounded like he just wanted to list my house. He didn't even ask me all these questions you're asking. So I'm gonna go ahead and block that guy. So if you
Yeah.
know Robert, please tell him he needs to learn how to build relationships. But I'm a little
Cash offer,
disappointed on
cash offer.
Maria. I'm a little disappointed on Maria, but hey, Jose, you sound like a nice guy. I'll tell you what, you could come over on Sunday. I got about 30 minutes before I go to church. If I
Yeah.
like what I hear, I might consider putting you to work. If not, I'm going to throw you out. Fair enough?
Fair enough. Dude, I was gonna tell you something. Yeah, fair enough. I was about to tell you, most agents, because like when you said like what strategies your agent used, did he kind of define that, or what strategies did he use? Is he a proactive or reactive agent? I wanted to say something like, did he do the list and pray method, which is what most agents do,
Oh,
right? They
no,
just
tell me
list it.
more about that, Jose.
Yeah, so what most agents do is they're just going to put the property on the MLS and then pray that they get an offer. You see, what we do a little bit different is we have more of a proactive approach instead of a reactive approach. And what I mean by that is I have 180,000 people in my database that I know where they're looking, and I'm going to contact all those people even prior to even showing up to your property. That's why when you ask me if I currently have buyers, there's currently 800 people in my database. I would probably check it right as I'm talking to you. I have like 800 people in my database that are already looking for properties in the city of Rancho Cucamonga, right? So now it's just identifying somebody that's interested in your particular home.
Got it. You guys heard
I don't know.
that? The list and pray method. I just wrote that down. It's a
Yeah.
little nugget right there. The list and pray method. Charles, are you doing the list and pray door knock method with your flyers when you're trying to do wholesale? And that's
No,
what he
I'm not
does.
doing.
Hold on, this is Charles' approach, right? He walks up to the door, knocks, puts the flyer on the door slit, and walks away. Please call me, please call me, please call me, please call me, please call me.
No,
That's not
I
working,
don't do
Charles.
that.
Door knocking
I
is
don't
you
do.
door knock, You walk 4 feet away from the door. If they have a Ring camera, let them see you that you're there, and then hopefully they open the door. But you don't want to, like Jose said, the list and pray method. You don't want to go door knocking. You door knock, you put the flyer in the door, you get it stuck, and then you walk away. Please call me, please call me, please call me, please call me. That's not gonna work right now, Charles. Awesome, Jose.
I know this for a fact when it comes to foreclosure versus a homesteader, a distressed property. The only difference why I like doing foreclosure, they have to make a choice. They have a time window that they have to make a choice, or a choice going to be made for them. So I like doing foreclosures now because with a distressed property or absentee owners, they're not in a hurry to sell. You could be seeking that homeowner a year, 2 years, 3 years until they want to sell. But with a foreclosure, they have to make a choice, or a choice is going to be made for them.
Got it. So what are you doing right now that's working for you?
I'm just going. Right now, I'm going once a week. I'm going to pick it up next week with twice a week, door knocking, and just door knocking, because I know if I do this constantly, at least within 90 days, I should get a foreclosure. I mean, it's a numbers game. The more doors you knock, the more closer you get for a deal.
Got it.
If I don't get them in the beginning, I'm going to get them after the foreclosure. I'll go after the surplus funding.
Got it. Good job, Charles. Dropping nuggets. Mr. Charles, aka Mr. Miami 305. All right. So we have a couple guests in here. I got Gabriel. Gabriel, how are you? Freddie, what's going on, Freddie? I see Felix. I see Robert. Robert. Now, Robert, you are from Houster. Are you available to talk, Robert?
Yeah. I was just gonna post something in the chat right now.
Awesome. Robert, real quick. So at Houster, what are you guys doing right now to get more business or role play?
So just like this meeting, we have meetings weekly. We do have a lot of support through the scripts that we provide. A lot of the people that we have, we send them here because it's a really good meeting to attend to for role playing. We do encourage them to kind of set up little teams as well, between agents, and of course just do it in front of the mirror. I think I heard the other day that there was this coach who would actually encourage guys to just do it with them, because now they can really be hard on themselves as far as practicing. But the way we're getting business right now is through marketing, Facebook marketing right now. We're doing a lot of marketing for ourselves, doing a lot of inbound leads. And we have callers calling. It's a numbers game. I think everybody who runs any sort of Facebook or paid marketing understands that. Even like what you guys are doing, right? Expireds. It's all the same thing, right? It's a numbers game. And just to add, Alfred, if you don't mind, Miguel was asking about absentee owners. We've done absentee owners a lot ourselves, and usually we do that for wholesaling, right? And our approach was very simple. It's actually easier if you have, again, it's a numbers game, a lot of calls. Absentee owners are most likely investors, right? They probably have one, maybe two properties, and that's why they're renting that one house. And usually if they have renters, they kind of want to get rid of them, right? They don't want to deal with the fixing of the home. They don't want to deal with issues with the renters not paying rent. So those are pain points that they have. So usually what we do is hey, are you looking to sell for cash? Right? We can make your cash offer, close in 7 days, and then just kind of start the conversation from there. But that's another way we've been able to get business for sellers as well, through absentee owners. Turn some of those cash offers. Some people don't want cash, or they do want the cash, but they don't understand that if you're going to offer cash as an investor, we're going to offer them 70% off what their home should be. And at that point, you can turn that into a listing as well.
Robert,
That's how we're doing it, Alfred.
Beautiful, beautiful. Before I
Quick
forget,
question
Robert,
for Robert.
go ahead.
Robert, is that your intro? Calling to looking to sell. Are you looking to sell for cash? Is that part of? Is that like your intro when you call
Uh,
absentees?
I don't do the calling myself. When we do have lists, we have VAs make the calls, because then they can make 1,000 calls a day and get us 2-3 people that say, sure, bring me an offer. And
But
then,
my
but that's a simple intro, right? It's just like,
okay.
hey, how's it going? Is this Miguel? Yeah. All right, hey, Miguel, you're the owner of 123 Main Street, right? Like, yeah. Hey, are you by any chance interested in possibly selling your home for cash?
I mean, I like it, Alfred. I'm just wondering if you think, or does that gain? What did you say earlier? Do you gain the I forgot how you mentioned earlier. Did you gain the
A
the
report?
value to ask the what?
A report?
Or did you gain the report to did I forgot how you mentioned it. Did you gain the respect to to ask them that? Is that
Oh,
going to is it going to dive in too soon?
yeah, but you see how soft it is his approach? You go straight for the kill right now. So Robert,
But
it's just it's got to be your tonality.
it's
How
just
when
the
you're
tone.
calling, remember you're a cold calling this person. They don't know you.
Yeah,
You're
correct.
interrupting their day.
Yeah.
See how the approach that Robert has is very monotone, very calm.
Yeah.
That has a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Jose.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and the type of lead. So it's important to understand what type of lead you're getting, right? Is this like a cold calling lead? So you have to have a script for that. And then so Robert is most likely getting an inbound lead, right? And then so
No,
he could be like
no,
you
this one, these are lists that we pull.
correct,
Uh,
but your ISA called it and they showed intent that they want to get a cash offer.
exactly, and that's very key what you just said, right? The ISA or the VA is the one making the approach, the quick, simple call. A lot of these people say, sure, bring me $1 million offer on a $600,000 home. So when I get that lead, I'm gonna do my homework. I'm gonna look at the home. I'm still gonna call, and sometimes it's a laugh, right? Sometimes it's like, hey, you talked to Eve earlier today. She said you'd be interested in selling for $1 million cash offer, and it's a conversation, and that's when you start to build that rapport. Just have that conversation. My VA is only going to give me hand raisers, just like any other lead, like Jose is saying. I understand your process, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
So Jose, anything you want to share with this?
Yeah, I wanted to share with you guys like video is like I've been doing video for a long time. And this is a way that I get to connect with a lot of clients. And then so I use a system called Loom. I'm not sure if you guys use Loom, but I get a ton of leads. And this is a way that I was able to sign a lot of listings. I think I signed 12 listings that year without ever even meeting the client. Like right now, I don't really kind of do sales anymore on that end. I mean, I still sell, I still get on the phone and everything like that, but I kind of give away all the leads to my agent. So if I could share my screen really quick.
Yeah, I'll have Alex give you permission. There you go. Thank you.
Let me see. Sorry, I probably have a bunch of tabs. So this is a little video that I did for pretty much this client that I'm kind of working with right now. And so I just kind of talk to them on the phone. And so anytime I talk to someone on the phone and I get a number from them, I kind of shoot them like it's kind of like a pre-listing video. And this is what it looks like. Oh, sorry, I don't think I put the sound on. Jose Samano, and I wanted you to put like a face to the name. And so it was a pleasure kind of chatting with you and going over some of the different scenarios out there. And then so just briefly wanted to talk about our team. We currently have 362 transactions in the last 12 months, 1,100 reviews, which is something that we really kind of pride ourselves in because it's a way to show kind of both sides of the coin, right? And you're actually hearing it from the horse's mouth, right? Like previous clients, previous people that have worked with us. And then so our team currently has about 146 agents. So I'm going to get over my team. So we canvas a really wide area for Zillow. We're actually a preferred partner of Zillow. That's why I kind of wanted to just go over the different selling solutions that are in today's market, right? You're able to do A traditional sale, which is, what's going to net you the most amount of money, but there's, sometimes some inconvenience of people coming in and out of your house, right? So some people decide not to kind of go that route. They decide to go with something more of a simple sale, which just, it's an all cash offer, through an iBuyer or through an investor, right? Just to basically get to as close as asking price as possible. But obviously there's a cost to that as well. And that's typically not going to net you the most amount of money. You can also do something called buy before you sell, essentially unlocking your equity on the property. So let's say you identify a new home. The bank will give you up to 80% of your home's current value. So then you can utilize that equity unlock to purchase that new home. Now your property is going to be vacant, and we'll now put your property on the market. And a vacant and staged home always sells for more. So there's that possibility there. Right. And then so that's another selling solution that's out in today's market. Obviously, we work very closely with Open Door as well. I don't think your property needs this, but this is another program called Revive, where we come in and we revive or enhance your properties to make it like at the top level. But from what I see on the pictures, I think your property will be just fine. We can also help you with staging. That could be a part of the process. So I don't want to bore you guys to death. So I'll just put the video in the thing. But this is one of the things that's really kind of helped me. Like transparency is key, right? And so even when I do like CMAs, or when I want to just explain anything to the client, like sometimes I'll send a client a listing agreement through DocuSign, and I'll go through it and I'll give them like a little quick video. And I don't know. It creates that transparency to the client. You communicate well with them. And I do this also for clients that I just, instead of just following up with somebody and saying, hey, I'm just following up if you're decided to sell now. What I do is I actually record myself doing like a CMA or a market update. And then I'll shoot that over to them and say, hey, here's one or two homes that sold in your area. I just kind of wanted to give you a little quick update. Whatever, or every quarter I'll kind of do a CMA. That way I have something to talk about with them. That's not just me following up to see if they want to sell the house. Because conversion happens in conversation, right? That's one of the things Sharon says. And so you want to be talking to as many people as possible. That's really kind of the idea.
Awesome. Did everybody get those nuggets down?
Hey, Jose, if you don't mind, could you repeat, maybe you already said this, how are you getting your leads right now? Because you said they're mostly inbound, right? You only deal with inbound?
Yeah, so we do everything. So we do postcards. Fortunately, we've been able to gain an account with Zillow Flex. So we have a Zillow Flex account, so we get inbound leads through there. At one point, I was utilizing Redfin. So I utilize like online lead platforms. And I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, I'm going to pay 60%. Like, I don't really care. I just want to have something that I'm currently working on. And one of the things that I learned very at the beginning of my process was that to look past that referral lead that you're getting from the lead platform and actually trying to get that second referral, because that usually doesn't come with any sort of referral agreement to anyone. So I would always tell clients, you're not just a commission, you're actually two. I'm trying to get that referral from you, right? So I always aim for the referral when I'm approaching clients and when I'm working with clients. I don't aim for that commission, right? So essentially, that allows me to perform at a super high level, because again, I'm constantly thinking, how do I get a referral from this person? So that means that I have to just do 5-star service. So we also do batch leads. So we buy a bunch of data. We utilize something called call tools, and we have VAs and ISAs in Spanish and English that are making our phone calls. We also do Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads. So we kind of have our hands in a lot of different places, but we are moving towards an era where agents are just talking to people. Pretty much, I don't want agents to have any leads in lead stage or attempted stage or nurture stage. I only want them to have leads and spoke with customer, um, appointment set, appointment met, or under contract. Like that is the only thing I kind of want them focusing on, because what we noticed is most agents don't make a lot of calls. and so we want to, and they don't want to, right? So we want to just put people in front of them that are interested in actually doing something. The issue there is the practice, right? Because once we give you the opportunity, you got to be able to perform, right? Just like basketball, just like any other sport, right? I actually feel like real estate is a sport. I call ourselves real estate sales athletes. And so you got to practice every single day. You have to have a form, right? That's why a script is super good. You don't want to just wing it. I see a lot of that in the real estate industry. A lot of people just, it's like, how's your presentation cadence? It's like, oh, just wing it. When was the last time you practiced? Oh, you're practicing on your clients. You're not practicing at the office. I got it. Okay. I mean, you're making a $50,000 conversation and you just think it's nothing. And it's like, that's how you get beat.
Awesome.
I don't know if that
Wow,
answered your
wow, wow.
question.
No, it does. And I think, Alfred, it ties into what I just posted in the chat for everybody. Guys, we have a meeting tomorrow. We have an interview. Scott, he is a coach, mortgage coach, real estate coach. Has coached over 1,000 people, real estate agents and lenders, as to how become omnipresent, right? I think there's a lot of things that have been talked about here, how you can be out there through social media, what kind of processes you have to put in place. That's what Scott's going to talk about tomorrow. So if you guys can make it, it does two things for us. It allows us to build the audience so that we can continue to bring more people. What the goal is to bring people like this every 2 weeks, so that they can give you guys a good golden nugget, so that you guys can continue to implement. I think if you implement 1% to 5% of what you've heard today, and you do that, but out of every meeting that you go to, you're going to get that 1% better that Alfred is always talking about. So if you guys can register, go to events.housester.com/register. It does help us a lot as well. And share that link.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and just to add to Robert's stuff, the biggest difference maker for me was creating a schedule for my workday. And I treat real estate like a real job. Like, this is not a part-time thing for me. I'm not talking stuff on people that are part-time. But even if you're part-time, create a schedule. Like, know what you're going to do every single hour of that time and how you're going to go about it. Because too often, people come in here and they're just kind of like twiddling their thumbs and they don't know what they're doing, right? And so building a schedule is actually the first thing that we tell an agent when they come into the office. It's like, I need to know your schedule. I need to know what you're committed to, because, we always have agents that end up leaving and then they'll come back and they'll be like, man, if I only worked just as hard as I do for the person that's paying me $15 an hour at my business, I would have done so much better. Like, we get that, we get that all the time. So, have some structure in your day. Is going to be super important for you to be successful in the new way of doing real estate, right? Now the market's shrinking. You got to be a professional. You got to know your stuff. You got to be practicing every day. That's how you're going to separate yourself from everybody else.
Man, well said. You guys can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, first and foremost, I want to respect everybody's time. We keep this call 45 minutes to an hour. We still got a few minutes, but man, I want to thank Jose for being my special guest today. He runs a very, very successful team. I don't want to tell his numbers, but I'm telling you guys, it's in the hundreds a month transactions. So listen to what he's saying. He talks. He works for the biggest company, global company. I know a lot of us don't like Zillow, but you got to remember, that's the Amazon of real estate. That's where everybody's going. And he gets to rub shoulders with the biggest Zillow brokers and agents. So he gets all the nuggets from them, and then he brings it back to his team, his very successful teams in Anaheim and Riverside. And that's one thing I tell you guys at the office, for some of you that are at C21, practice, 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 practice. You gotta practice all the time, right? It's so crucial right now. And like he said, it's the new way of doing real estate. Whatever worked 6 months ago, with this fast, rapid changing market, you gotta adjust and pivot with that if you want to be a successful agent. And number two, he talked about having a schedule. I recently posted my schedule because I was getting bombarded. Oh, how's your schedule? How's your schedule? When do you sleep? And I posted it at what time I wake up and what I do in between, and then when do I go to sleep. So you have to have structure. And then another thing that Jose talked about, it's funny he talked about it. I talked about it with you guys yesterday. Batch leads. It's one of the resources he has. They actually have a 7-day free trial right now. And no, I'm not an affiliate yet. You could sign up for batch leads. You get 10,000 leads on any list that you want to create for $119. And you can export 20,000 leads monthly. So you have to have data right now. Data, a dialer, a practice, a schedule. I mean, you have to have all this right now. And if you don't have that, be a part of a team. If you don't have a team, ask questions. Go to your office and find out who the top producer is. Try to shadow them. Try to pick their brain. Take them out to lunch. Just don't take. You also got to give. You got to be big on giving. Each one teach one, right? If I teach you something new and it works for you, go teach it to the next person. And I'm super glad that we're all part of this call. We got 5 minutes left on this call. We are recording this call because I know some of you text me, hey, I forgot what Robert said, or hey, I like what Jose said, right? You're listening and praying. Or how do you say, Jose? List and pray? Or
Yeah, like so. Yeah, most agents do the list and pray method. We like to take a more of a proactive instead of a reactive approach.
Yeah, or the Charles, the door knock and walk away, where he door knocks, he puts the flyer or the postcard, and he walks away saying, please call me, please call me, please call me. That's not gonna work, guys. I'm trying to make jokes out of things, but any takeaways from this call? Anybody, and don't forget a reminder tomorrow, like Robert said, every 2 weeks we have somebody coming. It's a pretty cool Zoom call. It's free to register. We're not trying to sell you anything or trying to recruit you, but any takeaways from today's call? Anyone? Go ahead and unmute yourself. Don't all speak at once, okay?
I'm gonna send Johnny your way.
Awesome. And we'll help him out. I see Jesse. Jesse, you still here? Jesse, you're still on this call? I'll start calling out some people. I see Jesse. I see Rebecca. Yeah. Rebecca, you're still available?
Yeah.
Jesse, you still here?
Yep, I'm here.
Any takeaways from this call?
Yes, a lot of golden nuggets. Thank you, Robert. It was amazing. I've learned a lot today. I really liked how you guys were able to ask the right questions when speaking to sellers or absentee owners or whatever the case may be, depending on what needs to be said. Asking the right questions will get you to, like you said, not just get to know the seller, but also build rapport.
Yeah, very well said. And today, Miguel got a nice coaching session. That would have been $1,000 coaching session today. Got a lot of nuggets. Jose, you were gonna say something?
Yes, sir. I was gonna tell you guys, in our office, we practice about 3 to 4 hours a week. And so I just want to let you know, like, the seriousness of how much you have to invest in yourself and practice and understand the processes and the new contracts and all of that kind of stuff. There's a lot of resources out there. Make sure that you guys reach out to someone. You got to get sharper. The people who are prepared and ready. I love the market shift because we're going back to a time where, like, there's professionalism in real estate again, right? Like, we're shifting back into that. And then so you just got to embrace the change, and you got to make sure that you earn that $250,000 a year, that $150,000 a year, or whatever amount of money that you're making, because that shift is happening right now. That's all I would say, man.
Awesome. Mr. Robert Salas, what you got for me?
Nothing, just register, guys. We do have Scott Groves tomorrow, and we have Tristan Almada 2 weeks from now as well. So let's show some support so that we can get more and more of these guys jumping in on these interviews with Alfred. and bring your questions, guys. The more questions you have, the more exciting these interviews are.
No, absolutely. Well, once again, I want to respect everybody's time. It's 1 minute. I hope this call brought you guys value. I got some pretty cool nuggets. I can't wait till Alex sends me the recording. I got to play it one more time because I know Jose dropped some nuggets that I know I didn't jot down. But this is an awesome call, guys, and it's getting better and better. Now, every other week, like Robert just said, more and more value. And the crazy part, it's all for free. Nobody's charging anybody nothing here. And believe me, guys, but believe me on this, what Jose had just said right now, we're in their office, they're practicing 4 hours a week. You got to go back and go to the drawing board and create yourself a schedule. Even if it's a 30-minute practice in the morning, 30-minute practice in the middle of the day, and a 30-minute practice before you go to sleep. Remember, I read my scripts 3 to 4 times a day. I read my scripts when I wake up. I read my scripts at 7 o'clock with Grant Cardone. I read my scripts with you guys. I read my script at 12, and then I read my scripts before I go to sleep. And I'm internalizing like 9 different scripts right now. I think I'm able to role play any type of client you're calling right now. I just do not want to be a one-trick pony. I want to be able to call absentee owners, those that default, expires, anybody. I want to master all the scripts because I never know when that opportunity is gonna. I don't know when it's coming, but I hope it does. I'm just gonna continue to show up and keep learning. So, once again, you guys are all awesome in my book. Don't be too hard on yourself. Just continue to support each other. Come see me at the office. Reach out to me if you guys want Jose's number. I'll talk to him. Reach out to Robert. Don't forget, at Real Closers Community, there's a lot of free content in there as well. Don't be afraid of going to Real Closers Community. And once again, thank you, Alex, for taking the time of your day to host this call with us. And if anybody has any closing statements, if not, we'll see you guys next Monday and Tuesday. We're working on some stuff, putting some stuff together. Other than that, make it a great day. Nothing else pays. The weather's beautiful. Now you can go door knocking. There's no more fires. There's no more excuses, guys. Go out there, make it happen, right?
Yep.
Right. Let's get it.
All right, guys. Have a great day. We'll talk soon. Peace out.
Thank you. Same to you.
Have a great day.
Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.